Hello everyone, it's Toni, and this week I am doing another one of your Christmas decor requests. I got this message from LaShonda saying that she wanted to recreate these giant Christmas bulbs, but she wanted something more elegant. And I thought, hey, what could be more elegant than crystal bulbs and ornaments? Well, how about gigantic crystal bulbs and ornaments? So today I'll show you how to create a couple of big and beautiful ornaments that can stand tall and sparkle by your front door this season. Coming up next, I'll show you how I made these oversized outdoor ornaments to match my stained glass crystal wreath. Okay, let's start by trying to make something that looks like a crystal bulb. And for this, I'm using all Dollar Tree pieces. For each ornament, I'm using 2 clear acrylic fluted 8-inch bowls, 2 crystal cut 11 1/4 inch catering bowls, 1 5-inch silver acrylic bowl, these come 2 in a pack, 1 silver doorknob hanger, silver satin ribbon, and white decorative mesh. Optional to add weight, a bag of rocks. To put everything together, I'm using Gorilla Clear Grip glue and the hot glue gun. Okay, so let's start with the top of my ornament. I want to attach a cap to the top of my ornament with a ring. So for that, I'm using one of my 8-inch acrylic bowls, this little silver bowl, and this holiday doorknob hanger. To attach my top pieces, I'm going to poke holes into the acrylic bowls so that I can tie them together with ribbon. If you have a soldering iron, you can use that for this, but I can't find mine right now, so I'm going to use a hot glue gun to melt 2 holes on the bottom center of this bowl. I'm using a large hot glue gun, and I'm just going to hold it in the position where I want the hole and just sort of rock it back and forth. And I am not squeezing any wax out, I'm just using the hot tip of this hot glue gun to melt the plastic. You don't want to put a lot of pressure on this or it'll crack, so you're just going to gently rock it back and forth until it starts melting the plastic and creating a hole. When the head of the glue gun starts to go through, you can add a little more pressure and just twist back and forth. You want to make a big enough hole so that a ribbon can go through. So I'm going to do this until my large nozzle is halfway through. And I'm going to push the tip through the other end just to make sure the hole is open. And that should be good. And I'm also going to put another hole on the other side of that center mark. And I'm cutting a long piece of silver ribbon and I'm going to thread it through the 2 holes from the inside. And now I'm doing the same thing with my small silver bowl. I'm putting 2 holes into the top of this piece. And I'm threading the same ribbons into the inside holes of this silver piece so that I can tie the 2 pieces together. I'm tying it really close and pretty tight. And then I'm going to attach my door hanger with a very tight knot and then a bow at the top. Now for the bottom part of this bulb, I'm using another medium-sized bowl and the large crystal cut bowl. Now if you plan on setting this ornament outside on the ground, before we go to the next step, I will put a bag of rocks in the bowl to weigh it down. This will keep it from blowing over. But I plan on hanging these from my light fixtures outside, so I won't be using the rocks on this one. With the Gorilla Clear Grip glue, I'm placing a line of glue right on the inside top edge of the bowl, all the way around. So now I'm going to take my large crystal bowl and sit it squarely inside the center of the medium-sized bowl. Now I want to make sure this bowl is even, centered, and leveled. So if you have one, you might want to use a level to make sure the bowl is sitting up straight. And while the glue is still wet, you can adjust the bowl all the way around. Then I'm going to put little dabs of hot glue on every other ridge between a medium size and a large bowl, just to keep them both in place while the wet glue is drying. Next, I'm putting a clear grip glue all the way around the very top edge of the large bowl. Then I'm placing another large bowl directly on top of that, and I want to make sure that the patterns line up. Now, after letting the bottom part of my ornament dry for about a half an hour, I'm going to attach the top portion. I'm turning this to see the inside, and once again I am putting clear grip glue right on the inside edge of the medium-sized piece, all the way around. And then I'm just going to carefully place that on top, making sure that it's centered. Now I can't use the level on this, so I'm just going to eyeball it and make sure that the distance between the pattern on the bottom piece and the bowl is the same all the way around. And here's my giant crystal ornament. It's not a sphere like a bulb, but I really do love the elongated shape. I think it makes it look more elegant. And if you only did the top half, this would be great for wedding decoration. You can hang these all around as wedding bells at your church or reception. Now LaShonda, if you wanted this red like in your photo, you can easily spray paint the clear acrylic pieces before you assemble it. Now I also love these Christmas ornament topiaries. So I wanted to make something that was a combination between that and crystal icicles. For each of my giant topiary icicles, from Dollar Tree I'm using 6 8-inch acrylic bowls, 4 crystal cut 11 1/4 inch bowls, 1 5-inch silver plastic bowl, 3 white silver rimmed 7 1/2-inch plastic plates, 1 silver doorknob hanger, silver satin ribbon, white decorative mesh, and 1 1/2 bags of white rocks. From Walmart I found a set of decorative bells for $4. I'm using one of these for this piece. From the hardware store I picked up a 3-foot 5/16-inch 18 threads per inch threaded rod and 4 5/16-inch 18 thread nuts and washers. To assemble everything I'm using Gorilla Clear Grip glue and the hot glue gun. Okay, so just like with my last ornament, I'm going to use the hot glue gun to put holes in these pieces. But this time I'm putting a hole right in the center. And these holes I want to be big enough to fit my rod through. So I'm going to let the hot tip go all the way down to the very end and make sure that my rod fits through the holes. So I'm going to go through and put holes in the center of all of my acrylic pieces. The 6 medium bowls, 4 large bowls, 3 silver plates, and 1 small silver bowl. So after all the holes are made in all my pieces, I'm going to start making giant crystal beads. I'm gluing 2 of the large bowls together to make 1 large round bead. And I'm going to repeat that to make 2 of these. Then I'm gluing 2 medium-sized acrylic bowls together to make more of a diamond shape, smaller bead. Now I want another one that looks like this to go at the very top, but before I glue that together, I'll need to insert 2 holes on the side of the center hole so that I can place a ribbon inside in order to tie a silver cap to the top. Now you can use the same sort of cap I used on the first piece, but I found these pretty silver bells at Walmart and I thought it'd make a nice decorative cap for this icicle piece. So I'm going to cut a pretty long piece of silver ribbon so that it will go all the way up at the top of this bell. And for now I'm just going to thread the ribbon through very loosely. And I'm not going to pull it all the way through. I'm just going to leave a 1-inch gap at the bottom. Now I'm going to glue this onto the bottom piece with the one center hole. And this will be my top crystal. Now my last two medium pieces are going to be used for my base. So I'm going to glue these two pieces together, bottom to bottom. I want to make sure the edges line up and the circles line up. Now the last piece is this little silver bowl, and I want to attach that to the base. But one thing that is important is that the hole that you made in these base pieces are pretty smooth or level. Sometimes when you take the hot glue gun out, it puffs up at the top and the bottom. So I'm just using a little piece of sandpaper and I'm sanding it down so that it's level on the inside of this little silver bowl and on the other side of the two bowls that I put together, the medium bowl. And I'm doing this because I'm screwing the screws and the washers. I'm going to put the washer against this, and if it's not flat, it may make the rod crooked. So you can sit your washer on top of it just to make sure it lies flat or at least level. Now the last thing I'm going to do is glue this silver bowl onto the bottom of this stand. I'm going to put some glue right on the top edges and sit that into what will be the bottom part of my base. And I'm just going to make sure that the circles line up. And I'm putting this here because I want to see a little silver at the bottom of my base to tie in with the top cap. Now with all my pieces dried and ready, it's time to assemble my crystal topiary. I have my base here, and I'm going to take my 3-foot rod. This is a 5/16 inch rod that has 18 threads. I'm screwing on a nut and then a washer, and I'm going to bring that up about 2 inches and insert that into the holes. I'm going to push it all the way down, and then I'm going to turn my base upside down so I can see the other end, and I want to insert another washer and then a nut into the bottom part of this. Also, I want the rod to extend only about 1 inch or so from the top of the base. I want it to line up with the edge of the silver bowl. So screw both ends a little bit, then turn it right side up and make sure your rod is standing up straight. So adjust the rod before you completely tighten it, and you want to screw both ends at the same time to tighten them as tight as you can without cracking the plastic. So don't screw it too extremely tight. Since these are going to stand on their own on my porch, and these acrylic pieces are not very heavy, so I want to add some weight to these pieces. So I put 2.5 bags of Dollar Tree rocks inside a plastic bag. I left a lot of space in the plastic bag, and I twist tied it with a silver wire. I'm using a white rocks because they won't show up as much as a dark color rock, so I want it to remain looking crystal. So I'm just going to position the rocks around the bowl towards the bottom and up the sides. Also, I put these into a plastic bag so that I could just remove them easily and the rocks won't scratch up the acrylic. Now I'm ready to thread my giant acrylic beads through my rod. I'm starting with my large round piece, then a silver rim plate, a diamond shaped medium piece, another silver rim plate, the other large round, the third plate, and finally the last top medium piece with the ribbon. Now to keep everything together, I'm going to add a washer at the top and a screw and just tighten everything up. Now it's time to add my pretty cap to my ornament. It has a hole right at the top center, and I'm going to thread the 2 ribbons in through that hole. Then I'm going to pull a ribbon out on each side of the bar until the cap sits on top of the piece. Now I'm going to take my silver door hanger and I am going to tie a bow around the middle part of the door hanger. And I'm going to tie it in a bow. I'm not going to do a knot because I want to be able to untie this and disassemble the whole thing. I didn't glue the pieces together because I want to be able to take it apart and put the pieces away in the box. Now for my last little touch, I'm going to add this white mesh and create a tiny little bow at the top just to tie in with my door wreath that has a big mesh bow at the bottom of it. And I'm just adding this like a little scarf on the side. And here is my crystal icicle ornament topiary. I'm hanging my giant crystal ornaments from my light fixtures, and I'll be setting my crystal icicle topiaries on each side of my door. And I think with the clear crystal look, it's the perfect complement for my door wreath. And to make everything sparkle at night, I added a few battery operated LED timed mini lights around each piece and also in my door wreath. And look at how gorgeous this looks. You would never guess that each crystal ball costs $7 to make, and the topiary is about $20, and all with Dollar Tree pieces. Want to see more decorating holiday tips from some really creative women? I'm joining a Festive Friday decorating team hosted by Catherine of Amateur Decorating Like a Pro. So click on the link above and in the description tab to see a whole playlist of holiday decorating ideas. Now you can pick up all my favorite crafting supplies and products used on this show with the one-click, easy shopping, and fast delivery convenience of Amazon. On my new Amazon shopping page, type in amazon.com/shop/yourhouseofhometv and you'll find all the supplies for my newest project, all my crafting supplies, project pieces, home decor, kitchen, garden, and more. And while you're there, add to your cart our Book of Elegant Home Crafts Volume 1, filled with step-by-step instructions for your favorite projects. Available here in paperback and ebook. See the information tab for the hardcover. Get this and all the supplies you need for your next project all in one place. I'll be working every day to add great products to make home crafting fast and easy. Follow me on Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, and Snapchat at Your House of Home and Your House of Home TV for daily home, food, and gardening tips.